Oh, look, I'm live. See if anybody shows up. I don't think I've ever done the mobile live version on YouTube before. Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. Other people here. There's a singular person here. How's it going? How do I open the chat? I don't know. I think comments just like pop up on the screen. I'm not sure. Hello, Matt the Fox. How's it going? I'm bored. Things have been good. Life is busy. But I'm bored, and I decided I wanted to come on and complain about Generation 5 My Little Pony, because why the fuck not, you know? Hello, Sky. It's cool. I've got 2 people here. Hell yeah. I don't know if anybody that's going to be watching this is like seeing My Little Pony or not, like the new one. But oh my god, okay, I should start off. I should talk about positive things, right? The things I like about it. From an art perspective, it's nice. I think that they were pretty ambitious going with 3D animation. You can't really hide. You can't really hide shortcuts with a 3D movie or a 3D show like you can with 2D. So, pretty ambitious there. I think the character designs are nice. I think they all look really pretty. The world, like, it looks okay. It looks okay. The show, Make Your Mark, is a bit rough around the edges. Like, I think, personally, when I was watching it, I could see what assets are probably going to be used a lot. Like, things that have more time put into it. And probably assets that were from the movie, to be honest. Versus, like, random things that they just made just to use, like, a few times. Like, and it's so saturated. Oh my god, the world is so saturated. It looks kind of weird, honestly. Like, sometimes you'll have, like, backgrounds in the buildings that they look really nice. They look textured. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Sky. If you stick around, you're gonna... I'm gonna go off. This 25-year-old woman's gonna go off about a pony show. But not, like, sometimes the, like, buildings and stuff are, like, certain items will be, like, nicely textured, and they'll have, like, good coloration or whatever. But then you'll have, like, other random items the characters are interacting with, and they're just super saturated, and they look so out of place. Like, when I was watching, Make Your Mark, the newer episodes, I just kept getting the vibe that, I don't know, what were those, like, click-to-play adventures that they made for little girls, like, in the 90s? Like that shit. Like, early 90s video games where you, like, click to adventure. That's, like, the aesthetic that I was, like, getting from the background of the new show. It's so mixed-matched and sparkly and shit. It's not bad, but it certainly was a choice. But I mean, yeah. But from an art perspective, I think it was okay. I like it, especially the characters themselves. It was nice. But the writing, on the other hand, oh god, the writing is so, it's so bad. The writing for Generation 5 is really bad. And I think the biggest is that, like, it's not even it's not even that it's like being more like hashtag relatable. It's not any of that shit. It's just the straight up continuity of the world itself. It makes no sense at all. Like, so they, like, Generation 5 is supposed to be set in the same, like, universe as Generation 4. Like, we're basically, like, just in the future right now, essentially. Like, Generation 4 is just supposed to be history at this point. So, obviously, Generation 5 should, like, adhere to the, like, world building, like, rules that happened in Generation 4. Like, the fabric of this world makes no fucking sense anymore. Like, it was like a whole ass thing that the Pegasi control the weather, right? Like, we literally got an episode of them manually changing the seasons. Okay, I guess the weather does its own thing now. Or the celestial bodies, like the sun and the moon. Like, even before Celestia and Luna, powerful unicorns apparently moved the sun and moon. So either they have retconned the entirety of Celestia and Luna and the unicorns that sacrificed their magic before they came around and just made them completely pointless, completely useless, whatever. Or I don't know. I don't even know where they're going with it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like the very fabric of, like, the world that is, like, intrinsically magic. All beings, all animals, everything had magic. And apparently it was like just a natural part of their world. And then it's just gone. It's just gone. I don't know how we're supposed to believe that. Okay, so the show gives me the vibe that it's been maybe like 500 years or so before, like, since Twilight's reign, since she was in power. That's the vibe I get timeline-wise. We're supposed to believe that in that time, the whole fucking world lost all its magic, something that is, like, an intrinsic part of many of these, like, ponies, like, beings, like unicorns. We're supposed to believe that they just lost magic and then oopsie daisies forgot the thing that took away who they were. Like, I mean, that's fucking wild. I mean, like, Twilight's, like, special talent was magic itself. Can you imagine the ponies who were alive when the magic disappeared? They, like, had talents that, like, strictly were about, like, magic and flying. Like, bro, I feel like they would have had that in some history books or something. Oh my god. Other world building things I don't get. Like, by the end of the show, we had, like, learned that Equestria was absolutely massive. Like, it was huge. There were so many different cities and towns, and, like, it was huge, okay? I don't know if they're gonna add, like, more, like, locations and places in the new show. I have a feeling they haven't done that simply because of budget, because animating backgrounds in 3D is, like, so much more expensive. I feel like that's why we've only got one shot of Opaline's castle. Like, a throne room, a bedroom, and just a wide shot of the castle from afar. But, like, how are we supposed to believe that population, a population of what we can assume is, like, equivalent to, like, the human world, is now living in just, like, 3 small places? Like, the only large civilization we really see is Zephyr Heights. It's supposed to be like a city, but it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Did Cloudsdale just, like, fall from the sky? Are the mountains where Zephyr Heights are the ruins of Cloudsdale? Like, or the unicorns, like, they're, like, I know that not all unicorns obviously fall into this category, but the unicorns, like, apparently from even like when they were like early history of Ponykind, they were the elite, they were the royals, they were from Canterlot, for example. Like we're supposed to believe that unicorns just decided, oh, we're gonna go live in a forest and be superstitious goths now. Like, if any relatives of the Canterlot elite went along on this like migration to I don't know what the hell the name of the new forest they live in. Briarwood's where they live now. I don't understand how any of them would have just been like, yeah, we're gonna wear beanies and be depressed all the time. That makes no sense. Or the earth ponies. The earth ponies are gonna a coastline, and like they have a lighthouse, so like I could assume that they're seafaring. Okay, that doesn't make much sense to me personally, but okay. It's so wild. I don't get it. There's so much about Generation 5 that doesn't make any sense. Like, what's another good world building thing that makes no sense? The dragon. I'm glad I make sense to you guys. The baby dragon. He makes his existence. I hate him. I hate him so much, and I'm so mad that the new episodes made me think that Hitch as a dad would be cute, because I fucking hate this dragon. He makes no sense. He exists for nothing more than like toys and like a convenient plot device. Yeah, he was born with wings. I was getting that. It makes no sense. Like, there was a whole ass episode, world building, in Generation 4 that explained why Spike didn't have fucking wings. But suddenly, he could be born with wings? No, there's a dragon. When did he show up? I think he was at the end of... Okay, so there's like a new, like, series now. It's called Make Your Mark. It came out, like, after the movie. And the first episode of Make Your Mark, like at the very end, when they fix whatever was wrong with the magic, they just have a dragon egg that they like found during the show or whatever, and when they fixed whatever was like buggy with the crystals, it hatched, and it just existed, and it's now becoming like a plot device in the newer episodes. I don't know if I should have prefaced this, but this is obviously going to have spoilers. Yeah, the animation does get like a little stiff in places. Like, I want to be picky about it because the show has already made me upset. But, like, I'm trying not to, because I know that competent animators worked on the show. I personally just think that they probably were crunched for time or, like, had, like, limits because of budget. Because with a 3D show that is, like, a Netflix exclusive, I can't imagine that they have a very large budget, and they probably have to, like make cuts or, like, shortcuts wherever they can. So there is a lot of weird moments with the animation and animation errors, but I personally can forgive that. I mean, Generation 4 had plenty of animation errors. They were just easier to ignore since it was like flash animation. But yeah, no, the dragon, he makes no sense. I think he's cute. Like, if he wasn't Generation 4, like if he wasn't from My Little Pony, or if he had like a better role or something, I would think he's cute, if it made sense. Him even showing up doesn't make any sense. Like, where did he come from? I think he found his egg on the beach, just randomly, and then Sunny says that they haven't seen a dragon for generations. so that's an interesting take on like the time frame of this. Like, how was the timeline here? Because dragons by the end of G4 had become like integrated like entirely into equestrian society. Like they were there. They were all over the place. So like I don't I don't know why there would suddenly be this egg that just perfect timing washes up on Maritime Bay's beach. Like, it doesn't make sense to me why he like hatches with the magic from the like crystals being fixed because they were like bugging out or whatever in the first episode. I don't get it, because in the show it like in Generation 4 it was shown that they only hatched, or they normally hatched with like fire, like magical dragon fire at like their breeding ground or whatever. Or, I mean, obviously like an intense magical like forced hatch, like with Twilight hatching Spike. But that was like some like supposed to be some like hugely powerful phenomenon that was like kind of focused on Spike. It doesn't make any sense to me that just an ambient pony magic coming out of the crystal would be enough to make the dragon hatch, like, conveniently at the end of the movie. Like, okay. Also, what the hell? What the hell is earth pony magic? You're telling me that it suddenly becomes, they have no control over it, it seems like. They just do a little tap dance and they can make shit grow? Applejack would be pissed off. Can you imagine if Applejack had earth pony magic during the episode when they were battling Flim and Flam? God damn. That's so weird. Like, it's funny to me because it's shown, like, in Generation 4 that unicorns, like, actually have to, like, practice. They practice their magic to be able to levitate things or to do spells and all that shit. But, like, in Generation 5, when they all get their magic back, all the unicorns can just magically levitate shit and do spells and everything. Like, complex spells. Like, I think there was, like, a moment, in the first episode of Make Your Mark where, Izzy, like, grows flowers. Okay, she just figured that out. That's cool. Okay. But, like, the earth ponies, magic just happens all the time. World hunger is now not a thing anymore. It's kind of funny to me, honestly. I don't know. I have so many thoughts, and I'm rambling. I hope this is entertaining. I can't imagine it's very entertaining, but I guess there are people here. Twilight's message, too. That makes no sense. Okay, so far that what has been explained with the main story. Hi, honey. My cat's coming to say hi. Hi, baby. Meow. Come here. No? Okay, fine. Fuck you, too. Oh, you just gonna come from the other side? Yeah? Yeah? Are you gonna come talk about ponies with me? Yeah? What you doing? You good girl? Yeah. Yeah, you just gonna... Okay, that's cool. That's a good girl. Yeah. Boop. Had to stop for cat moments, of course. Okay, anyway, I'm talking about crystals. The crystals themselves don't make any sense to me, really, because so far what we've gotten from, like, the story, like, piecing together is that Twilight done fucked because some random racist pony, of which at this point I think we can assume is Opaline. So this random alicorn that we still don't know the true identity of, like who the hell is she? Apparently is just fucking racist and wants power. Yeah. Racist pony wants power. And somehow Opaline is strong enough, while the main 6 are all still alive, mind you, because it was a thing in the comics. Like, this story that is now canon in the animated show was also put in the comics. I'm pretty sure that it's canon. Like, they're together, but I don't know. But apparently, one racist pony wanting magic and, like, being racist and shit was enough for Twilight to say, hey, everybody, I'm gonna take away everybody's magic, and if you want back, you gotta be nice to each other. No, so Twilight was, like, basically, like, had, like, a fucking, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, moment, and, like, had, like, some weird hologram of her, that was warning the new main 5, about basically they're warning about Opaline, but they don't know that. She doesn't specifically say her name or whatever, or, like, she glitched out. But the rest of them are dead. It's, like, hinted, in the comic that the rest of the main 6 are dead. We don't know if Twilight actually is dead. But she did make an appearance. Twilight is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't even get me started on how they did it. Like, she looks awful. They basically just, like, made Twilight on, like one of the G5 ponies, like models, essentially. Like, she, like, apparently that whole growth spurt she went through to be this, like, immortal goddess at the end of Generation 4 didn't happen. And she just looked like a G5 version of, like, her, like, early pony days. Like, when she looked like a normal pony. Okay. That's cool. But, so yeah, apparently Twilight took everybody's magic and put it in the crystals. Took Earth Pony, Pegasi, and Unicorn magic and put it in the crystals. And for the crystals to work, everybody has to be living together in harmony and be friends. Magic is released and allows people to use it. I'm gonna make everybody friends or else. That's really the best way to keep everybody's magic safe away from this evil alicorn Opaline is to conveniently put all of the magic in the world into 3 little crystals. That's the best way to keep it away from them. And this, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi hologram of Twilight that tries to talk to the new main 5, she apparently knows about Earth Pony magic, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know how she would know that Earth Pony magic could become a thing. So, I don't know if that was like a retcon, or we're gonna get more explanation that maybe Earth Pony magic was something developed when she was still around. I don't know. It also makes no sense. Okay, so the crystals give the new main 5 a vision. They give them a vision or whatever of Twilight warning them about this new pony. Apparently, like, days or weeks or even months after, like, Earth Ponies got their magic. It was basically, Hitch was like, Earth Pony magic is out of control, I'm gonna take the crystals apart. But then, like, at the last second, he decides not to, and that's when Twilight is like, hi, everybody, I'm gonna give you guys a prophetic vision, even though it's gonna give you absolutely no useful information, and you're gonna completely ignore it. So, I feel like Twilight even existing and giving this message was a retcon entirely, because it would make sense that she would give this warning when the crystals were, like, first put back together in the movie. Or, at the very least, when Earth Pony, I don't know, when Earth Ponies got their magic in, like, the first episode, make a phone call. It's probably of a telemarketer. I'm busy talking about pawns. Telemarketers can wait. Also, so when the crystals, so if Twilight, is this, from a writing perspective, this makes no sense. If Twilight made the crystals in order to keep everybody unified and to keep the magic away from Opaline, so apparently there's 2 reasons she made the crystals. She did that, right? It was shown in the movie that ponies were living in Zephyr Heights, Briarwood, and Maritime Bay before they became fucking racist again. And they traveled between each other. And all the crystals worked back then. So there was a time in Equestria when these crystals were together. So I don't understand how, with them being separated, now after they've been put back together, Twilight would send them a warning message. Like, how, I don't understand what triggers that. How that, like, from a continuity or storytelling point, that makes any sense. Like, how would Twilight know that the crystals would be separated and that she needed to enchant them or whatever to give them this message? Is it like leftover magic from like the elements of harmony or something? Like the tree that like talks to people now? They mentioned the elements in the new show. Like there was a foal that was reading a book about these magical elements, but that's as far they went. I don't know if that's going to be like important at some point or if that was just a tidbit. But this whole thing makes absolutely no sense. I don't know where they're going with this whatsoever. Like, also, it doesn't make any sense to me that the ponies could be this separated. I don't know if I've already rambled about this or not, but they had, even before Twilight became princess, they had a millennia of almost complete political stagnation in a society that had been the same, with the same ruler. Like, history was consistent because they had the same ruler. Politics were basically the same because they had the same ruler. For over 1,000 years, the 3 pony races lived together and mingled to the point that they couldn't genetically be separated anymore. Like we saw in the show with Mr. and Mrs. Cake, 2 earth ponies gave birth to foals that were a unicorn and a pegasus. Even if they fucking wanted to, ponies couldn't be racist and separate themselves anymore. They couldn't, because you could be 3 generations removed and 2 earth ponies could give birth to a pegasus. It makes no sense whatsoever. It completely erased that whole thing there. And it doesn't make any sense to me that a society that has been under only the rule of 2 leaders, 3 leaders, if you count Twilight, Luna, Celestia, and Twilight, 3 rulers in 1,500 years. And you're going to tell me that somehow, within the time that Twilight died or whatever, the time that she made these crystals, all these ponies completely forgot about all of their history, all their holidays, all their traditions, the things that made them lose their magic, everything that happened to them, they magically forgot it? There has to be, if they want this to work, they need... Oh, who made my fursuit? K-Brand art on Instagram. They're really nice. This suit is a bit old, so they've gotten better since they made it. And I painted the eyes. I painted them this color. But you should go check them out, because they're really cool. But it makes absolutely no sense. If they want this story to work, that the races have been completely separated again, they have to at least have some piss poor explanation of memory wiping or something. With that crystal that was used in Equestria Girls or something that wipes memories. give us something, anything that explains how you can have a society that was stable for 15,000 years. Just forget about it all. That makes no sense. Oh my god. Also, like, okay, let's say, for example, Twilight done fucked. She puts all this magic into the crystals. There's other alicorns. Like, is it implied that Celestia and Luna are dead? Like, did they die, or did they just, like, fuck into the ether? Or do they become, like, actual gods? Is that why the sun and moon still move? That would at least make some sense. I wish that they would say that Celestia and Luna went to go live on the sun and moon or some shit, so that they could be gods or whatever. But I don't think they will because of the age range of this show. I don't think that they can actually do that. They haven't even technically confirmed that anybody's dead. They literally only hinted at it in the comic, because the comic age range I think is like 10 plus, but I don't remember. But like, what about Flurry Heart and Cadance? Hi, baby. Hi. What, like, even if Celestia and Luna are dead, even if Twilight fucked up and, like, she died too, maybe she gave up her immortal shit to put into the crystal as well. What about Cadance and Flurry Heart? Flurry Heart was a baby. There's no way that a natural-born alicorn who is apparently meant to be immortal, like, it was confirmed in the new show, like, it's always been, like, implied because they're, like, they've lived for so long, but, like, it was confirmed in the show. Opaline finally said herself that alicorns are meant to be immortal beings who are worshipped. So, how in the hell is Flurry Heart gone? Did she not do anything? Like, what happened to the Crystal Empire? Are they still a thing, just, like, completely isolated and away from everybody else? It doesn't make any sense to me that the Princess of Love and her daughter would just completely forget about everybody. Or, I don't know, maybe these crystals that Twilight made are made out of the Crystal Heart. Maybe that's a fucking thing. I've thought about that theory. That theory makes a little bit more sense if Twilight took the Crystal Heart and, like, cut it into 3 pieces to make the pony crystals or whatever. Since they like shoot out a beam of, like, prismatic light, and it was shown during, like, all the times where the Crystal Heart gets energy, it shoots out, like, magic that looks like the Northern Lights. So, like, maybe that's a thing, but I don't know. But I don't understand if alicorns are supposed to be these immortal beings that last forever and have power. I don't understand where everybody else went. Hello, a new person that just showed up. Yeah. Also, Opaline herself, what the fuck is she? Who is she? We don't know who she is. Like, people have theories that, like, maybe she's, like, Twilight's daughter. That doesn't make any sense to me because, like, from a story perspective, we've already been told the reason everybody separated was because of some racist pony causing problems. I highly doubt that the racist pony causing problems was not Opaline, and I highly doubt that any daughter of Twilight could become a racist asshole. That makes no sense whatsoever. I've heard people think maybe she's Flurry Heart, but that makes no sense to me either. How can the daughter of the Princess of Love become a power-hungry monster that is, like, comically cringy? Like, they try, like, it's kind of funny, like, in the show with Opaline, they try to make her, like, a comical version of, like, your classic power-hungry villain, even with the mwahaha, like, laugh. Like, they even have a bit about how she's, like, unironically doing the evil laugh and thinks it's funny, and it's so cringe. It's so bad. I don't think the daughter of Twilight or the daughter of the Princess of Love or whatever, daughter of Cadance, would become a piece of shit that abuses a pony who she lured away from home or something, or found it out in the woods. Oh yeah, because that's the thing. The cute little purple and blue unicorn what's her name? Misty, the one who lives with Opaline. She's just like this anxiety-riddled child that desperately wants to be loved. And the only reason she's helping Opaline is apparently so she can get a cutie mark. Even though she has basically like a fucking cutie mark decal on her ass. It's like a car. She's got a sticker on her ass. But no, it makes no sense. I had the theory, like for a little bit, that maybe Opaline is Cozy Glow. Maybe like from a color perspective, like maybe she's the quote Nightmare Moon version of Glow, but I don't know because that means Tear and Chrysalis also be free. Cozy Glow fucking Alicorn again. So that makes no sense. So Opaline, I'm so sorry to the animator that made Opaline, but she looks fucking ugly. She looks ugly. She looks really stupid. Her color scheme isn't the worst, but what bothers me is how saturated her body is. Like they tried to make her this dark, foreboding character, but they kept the saturation of that color too high. So she looks weird. When, like, they tried to do, like, shading on her, it looks weird. Especially considering, I think her muzzle and her belly are a lighter color. So it makes her look really weird. Like, for, like, a lighting perspective, she stands out. And she just does not look good. She also, like, her mane, it doesn't make any sense. Her tail is whatever. But her mane, it's stupid. It's so stupid. She's like Leia with pigtails. Like, the colors of her mane look ugly. And the braids around her ears look stupid. She doesn't look like this being that wants to be worshipped and immortal or whatever. This, like, ethereal being that she claims she wants to be. She looks stupid. She looks really stupid. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I hate her mane. It looks so bad. It does not put in my brain the idea of beauty or like power like it's supposed to. She's supposed to look powerful and foreboding, but her hair just makes her look dumb. It also doesn't flow. Like, I know that, like, for a while, Twilight didn't have hair that flowed. I know that Cadance didn't have hair that flowed, or Flurry Heart. But I feel like if Opaline is supposed to be, like, super old, because that's the thing. She's supposed to be super old, I think. I think by timeline perspective, I think she's, like, gotta be at least 500 years old. This is all guessing, of course. But it would make more sense to me if she had, like, a flowing mane, if she looked bigger and regal, but she doesn't. She just looks like a sized up version. Like, she's basically like the other ponies, but with longer legs. Like, she doesn't look special. Also, her regalia. Where is it? She's got, like, these, like, ankle braces. Not shoes, mind you. Just these weird ankle braces. And I'm not gonna lie, I do like the color of those. I think they look good. Personally, I like the color they went with. I think it looks interesting. However, if she wants to be this ruler that, like, gets worshipped and shit, you would think... And she also has called herself a queen. Like, she's supposed to be a queen, apparently. You would think that she would have a chest piece and a crown. At least a crown. But she doesn't. Also, she is able to use, Sparky. That's the name of the fucking dragon. She's able to use Sparky's dragon fire as, like, a power boost to go, like, fucking Super Saiyan or some shit. That's literally, I think that's the only reason why Sparky exists. To sell toys And also because his dragon fire, I feel like, is going to be a plot device. Because right now, I think in the last episode, Opaline's little, like, minion, or, well, slave, I should call her, because she's just, like, an abused child, honestly, is trying to steal Sparky, so that Opaline can use his fire as magic. Like, we get no explanation on how any of that works, but okay. And I honestly feel like it's going to be a thing, like, when the next set of episodes come out, because we've only got half of the season so far. Like, they're splitting it up a bit. I'm assuming because of the labor towards animating, they can't probably produce, like, enough episodes to release them all at once. Or that separating them also is manufactured hype, but I don't know. I guarantee it, one of the new episodes and how they actually, like, meet Opaline, I feel like, is that Misty is gonna get successful and steal Sparky, and the main 5 are gonna go after her. Or, after Sparky, him, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's, holy shit. Also, like, it's real weird, the show feels, like, really fast. It feels so slow and so fast at the same time. I know that sounds weird, but, like, in Generation 5, when we had, like, big things happen, it normally only stretched over, like, 2 episodes, you know? It would be, like, a season starter and season finale, and it would basically be, like, a mini movie for TV, because it would be 2 episodes with a continuous story. My Little Pony didn't really have too many overarching stories, and when they did, they weren't pressing matters for the most part. They were, like, casual world building stories, or things building in, like, a natural pace. It didn't feel like they were dragging out. But in Generation 5, this whole story with Opaline has been dragging the fuck out. Okay? Like, we've got probably all fans. I imagine even, like, aside from, like, the super young children, I imagine even the young people who are watching this show and don't really know anything about Generation 4, I have to imagine everybody's got to be chomping at the bit to understand what the fuck is happening. Because it's been dragging out for so long. Because Opaline was teased in the first movie. And everybody already wanted questions as to why the crystals were a thing. Where did the magic go? Why was everybody fucking racist again? Everybody has those questions. And then we got teased with Opaline in... No, she wasn't teased in the movie, was she? No, she was teased in Make Your Mark. I'm fucking stupid. Opaline was teased in the first episode of Make Your Mark that came out months ago. And she was teased at the very end. So, we... have questions about the crystal, and then they added on questions about Opaline, and they dragged her out this whole time. The only thing that she's been doing is just having these little, like, cute little hijinks of sending Misty off to, like, fuck with the main 5. And they never do anything. They're comically stupid, too. Like, comically stupid. Like, there was a point where Opaline communicated with Sunny through this weird little, like, makeup mirror, and pretended to be Sunny's, like, inner person. And Sunny just accepted this. It's like, oh, I'm talking to myself in a mirror? Dude, that's so cool, and just completely accepted it. Or, like, the main 5 just accepted Misty into their little friend group to have a slumber party after Izzy meets her for, like, the first time. It's so stupid. It's so comically stupid. These stories just keep dragging out when we're chomping at the bit for more. Build this world. Give us answers. Build these characters. Every one of these characters are so painfully forgettable. Like Sunny Star Scout was supposed to be, like, the main character. She was the main character in the movie. But she feels like a background character now. Despite the fact that she can go fucking Super Saiyan and, like, have these wings which for the record only show up when she's doing like a good deed. So I don't even know if she's like a real alicorn. But she's like a background character now. I feel like Hitch and the sisters get more screen time. Also, I don't understand this, but Zip has become a detective suddenly. Like, that's a thing now with her. That's just a character building thing they gave her just out of nowhere. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. I know there's only 2 people watching. Good point to point out, things I can complain about. I don't... Is that Spanish? I don't know what you just said. I'm sorry, fam. Oh my god. You know, speaking of... Okay, so I haven't watched... I haven't watched the, like, YouTube series, because I know that there's, like, a YouTube series. I watched a few episodes of them. I don't think that they've given any information for, like, world building that much. I think that they're just, like, you know, Hasbro making a little money grubbing thing, to, like, entice fans. Because obviously a lot of children are on YouTube. I feel like them showing it on YouTube is to entice fans to Generation 5. Hey kids, this is a thing, look at these characters. So I haven't really watched it. The art style I'm kind of about. The backgrounds are beautiful though. In the, like, little, like, YouTube series. Absolutely beautiful. It's just the character models I don't like. Yeah. Everything is so fast. Yeah, I was also talking about this too. On top of the story dragging out, the episodes feel really rushed and fast, especially when they have a character start singing. It feels super rushed, like they're trying to fit in as much as they possibly can, all at once. It's ugh. I wanted so much more for Generation 5. I feel like a lot of people did. And truthfully, I feel like this has just been really disappointing. Like, this has just been really disappointing for me. As someone who really loved Generation 4. I really love Generation 4. And, like, I don't know. I personally, I think that Generation 5, if they don't change what they're doing and fix some of these continuity errors somehow, like, come up with some explanations, I really think that Generation 5 is going to suffer, and it's not going to last very long. I have to imagine they already are struggling with the budget, and if they don't make the money to justify the budget for a 3D show, it's gonna die real fast. I will be really surprised if we get a season 2. I honestly, like, personally feel with how many people have problems with Generation 5 and just the way that it's gone, I really think after we complete this whole story with Opaline and figure out what the fuck is going on with her, I honestly don't think that they're gonna make another season. And if they do, it'll probably be like filler episodes, and it's gonna fizzle out. I don't have much hope for Generation 5, and that really fucking sucks. Because riding on the coattails of Generation 4, they have essentially fucked up any potential that universe had. Like, if they want to make a Generation 6 someday, they can't really go back and, like, fix what they did. Because now they have this fucked up version of this universe. And I don't think that it can be fixed. Like, it's disappointing. It sucks. And this franchise has lasted for so long. Like, My Little Pony has been around for a really long time. Generation 4 was an absolute phenomenon. Just so many lucky things got people watching it, and the potential that the show had to be good for all ages was squandered. Even from a business perspective, it's really stupid. Because obviously companies like Hasbro, they're selling toys. That is their goal. They sell toys, they sell games. And when they make cartoons, the whole point of the cartoon is to make a semi-decent show to sell toys. Like, and that's not something necessarily that they should be faulted for, I guess, because that's just their business model. That's how they've always been. But from a business perspective, when they have a literal gold mine opportunity with My Little Pony Generation 4 falling in their lap the way it did, and they've basically, like, thrown away everything with Generation 5. Generation 5 could have been so much better. They could have kept going with Generation 4. I have mixed feelings on them not doing that. Like, I would have liked to have seen them do a season 10. Personally, I feel like it would have felt more complete if we had another season. I would have liked another season of Twilight learning how to be a princess and to fit in her big shoes. She had big shoes to fill. I would have liked a 10th season of Generation 4. I feel like a lot of fans would have felt a lot more fulfilled if they did that rather than the time skip ending that we ended up getting. I think that the writers did end the show really well for what they were given, of course. But I don't think that Generation 4 should have lasted much longer than it already had. I mean, if you're a cartoon that's been around for a decade, especially a kid's cartoon, like it's one thing with these adult cartoons that have been around for like years and years. Adult cartoons are different because if the adults are watching, continuity isn't always the biggest issue, or it's continuity that can be followed or binged. But with like kids shows, it's hard to catch the like attention of an audience if you have one that's like also young. So I get why they couldn't have had the show keep going, and I honestly think that they would have run out of like stories to tell if they had gone on much longer. However, when they announced that they were ending Generation 4, I really thought that they were using that, especially because I wanted them to continue with the universe. Like, I remember I was living in Vermont. I was sitting in my friend's living room, and I was talking with one of my friends on the phone, and I was like, hey, they're canceling Generation 4, and they're making a new one. And I told my friend, I was like, I really hope that they basically keep the same universe and they just make it ancient history. I wanted that before it was even a concept that was like released to the public. I fucking wanted that. And now, to a degree, I regret my decision because you know what? I feel like we put too much trust in a corporation to actually give a shit about what fans wanted. I really was hoping that they were using the new generation as the potential to both reset the story for new viewers, but keep building on what we already had for returning viewers. And they haven't done that. I think that they've made a really empty and forgettable show for new viewers, and they've made just a disappointing mess for returning ones. And it fucking sucks. Really sucks. I wanted the show to be more. Like, it would have been cool to see, like, Zip, for example, like, be inspired and be like, oh shit, we can fly fast enough to break the sound barrier. And then having her maybe learn about the Wonderbolts, because we saw a poster of them in Zephyr Heights in the movie. It would have been so fucking cool to see her, like, be like, oh, what if we, like, brought back these, like, old parts of Equestria? brought back things that fell apart because of the loss of magic. Like I imagine if the Wonderbolts were still a thing in Zephyr Heights when magic was still around, the only reason they would have disbanded is because they couldn't fucking fly anymore. So wouldn't it be cool to be like, hey, let's re-erect part of our history, and like now that we have our flight back, you know, like things like that, like a little, I don't know. Ugh. I've been rambling for a while. How long have I been rambling? Oh wow, it's been an hour. Oh wow. That's impressive. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've got out most of my feelings. You know, I'm probably going to end this live stream and I'll have like a bunch more things to say. But I think for the most part, I've gotten out my feelings on Generation 5 and My Little Pony. Yes, I am complaining about My Little Pony. I know, a lot of people like to like bitch and cry and be like, oh, you're an adult? How entitled are you that you want this show for little girls to like fit your desires? And shut the fuck up, okay? I am not some man in my 50s sitting in my mother's basement crying about the fact that my fan fiction wasn't put into the show. No, I am disappointed in a franchise that touched the hearts and creative minds of millions of people and literally helped artists build their careers. I am sad. Oh shit. That shit about the hurricane? I missed it. That's fucking insane. But no, I am mad that a show that ended up touching the lives and like the hearts of so many people and inspired so many people has just kind of been squandered. You can make your show for little girls. You can make your show for children. Hit all of the boxes you want to hit without disappointing people who were really invested in your franchise. People who like have spent thousands and thousands of dollars. People who like I know that I know that the Brony fandom isn't like the main audience, obviously, for My Little Pony. Like I get that, but I think you're dumb if you honestly believe that the show lasting as long as it did and going in the direction of it did happened only because of the little children watching it. I think you're dumb. It's so obvious that Friendship is Magic wouldn't have been as big as it was or lasted as long as it did without the adult fans who came along. And I don't necessarily even like want to say just bronies, because there are people who are fans of the show who don't like to consider themselves bronies. But yeah, it's just I can be an adult and be critical of children's media. I am allowed to do that. Don't be mean to me. But yeah, no, I feel like I've gotten my feelings out about this show. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed as shit. They could still fix it if they made some drastic changes in this story. And the continuity errors, if they came up with explanations, they could fucking fix this stuff. Or at least fix it to the point where that the rest of the issues could be forgettable. But I don't have faith that they're going to do it. I really don't, because it is extremely rare for writers and companies to actually pay attention to their fans. So yeah, I have desires, I have wishes for this show. I think if you separate it from Generation 4, if you can do that and you can find joy out of the show, that's great. I can still find joy out of the show, like, don't get me wrong. I can still find some entertainment out of Generation 5. It just hits different for me, but it is what it is. Now that, I think, yeah. I've already been doing this for like an hour. The stream.